Salve moçada, aqui é o Moraes, bem-vindos ao meu canal de jogatinas. Hoje trazendo o segundo episódio de Alan Wake Remaster. Estamos aqui com o nosso protagonista, Alan. Acabou de chegar na sua casa. Esse capítulo se passa algumas horas antes, quer dizer, algumas horas antes não, se passa alguns anos antes dele chegar a Ridge Fall. Eu já vi ali na frente que tem uma garrafinha de café, o Alan ficar ligadaço. Vamos dar uma explorada aqui pela casa dele. O que seria isso aqui? Vi alguma coisa referente a talvez aquecedor da casa, alguma coisa desse tipo. Temos aqui um... Eu achei que era algo que dava para pegar. É tipo uma carta, mas por enquanto eu não consigo nem ler. Bom, se eu deixar assim dá pra ver alguma coisa. Talvez depois eu tenha acesso a esse bilhete aqui na geladeira. Temos aqui uma garrafa de vinho. Ligar. Ligar o que? O fogão?
Coffee's on.
Ah não, ligou a cafeteira. Tá uma nevasca lá fora. Um vento forte. Deixa eu ver mais o que tem aqui. Agradecendo aí, é claro, um novo inscrito aí no canal, Deadman Logan. Valeu aí pela inscrição aí no canal. Chegando aí ao número de inscritos 75, rumo aí aos 100. Deixa eu ver o que tem por aqui. Um telefone. Esse aqui é o que? Tem uns quadros bem estranhos aqui, né? Uns prédios, né? Estamos aqui em Nova York. Pelo que eu lembro do comecinho do capítulo, era 3 anos antes, Nova York. Vou pegar a página de manuscrito. Mais um manuscrito, aqui mais um mini pôster do Alan com seu livro. Só uma maquininha de escrever. Examinar. Infelizmente eu não consigo mexer na câmera para ver do lado, mas é o último. Na verdade são vários, né? A lombada deles ali são todos iguais, todos capa branca, mas cada um tem um nome diferente. Tem mais alguma coisa para examinar? Acho que só os livros. Tem ali duas armas, num esqueminha de vidro. Não chega a ser uma redoma, mas tá ali numa proteção de vidro. Ué, já tinha QR Code nessa época aí, 2010? Não lembrava que em 2010 já tinha isso. Vamos conseguir entrar, passar pela porta. O que temos aqui? Temos um rádio.
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
Ok, informação ali do radialista. Temos aqui mais alguns livros embaixo desse balcão. Salve aí, Rick. Boa noite pra você também, cara. Tá tudo certinho por aqui. Fora um pouco de frio e chuva. Consegui entrar aqui no closet. Será que tem alguma coisa pra pegar aqui? Pelo visto não tem nada, então nem sei porque eu entrei aqui. O cenário é um pouco grande em comparação ao Alan. Eu até achei que no comecinho do capítulo ali, quando eu encerrei a jogatina ontem, que fosse o filho dele, cara. Algumas coisas no cenário são um pouco desproporcionais. Temos ali uma lavadora ou secadora. Um aparelho de barbear. Chuveirinho. Comparação, o chuveiro é meio baixo. Uma banheira. Tá, aqui eu já entrei. Vamos ver o que tem pra cá. Consigo entrar aqui? Vamos ver. Aqui não. Aqui é a cozinha. Eu também já passei. Tem uma caixa grande ali, uma televisão. Parece uma televisão. Tem a garrafa de café aqui. Deixa eu vir aqui pegar essa garrafa de café que tá aqui.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Vamos aqui alguns retratos do... Por aí tá quente, é, por aqui parece que voltamos pro inverno. Começou a primavera, mas deu uma esfriada repentina aí essas últimas semanas. Temos aqui mais um quadro da cidade de Nova York. Que eu não consigo entrar. Bom, ela falou pra eu ir lá ver as capas, né? No livro. Vou ver se agora eu consigo interagir com alguma outra coisa aqui.
These look really good.
Consigo.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan! Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine, I'm fine. Just get the lights back on. Now, please.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay.
Mas já tava com a lanterna onde? Tava embaixo do casaco?
Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
Assustada por quê, mulher? Não tá nem...
No, it's stupid, but it's
Não é nem
just...
noite.
Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a
A
kid.
mulher do Alan parece
The
que
dark
botou o
really spooked
botox.
me, too.
Tá com
When
a
it got
cara
really
meio
bad,
repuxada.
My mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
Vamos ao presente.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
Tem umas coisas ali na casa que eu queria ter olhado.
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Vamos lá.
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down
I'm
the
sorry you had to
corridor.
cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You're good to go, Mr. Wake. Sarah's probably waiting for a chance to talk to you.
Eu sei, camarada, tu já me falou isso. Negócio que pra examinar. Ó, baita vara de pescar, hein? Porra.
The
Pescar
sheriff
tubarão.
wanted to see you in her office.
Tiozinho chato, cara, ele já falou que ela tá querendo falar comigo. Espera um pouco. Bom, aqui não tem nada, então vamos sair da sala. Ixi, tá aquela maluca ali de novo, aquela mulher é meio louca. Desaparecidos: Richard Baug, Bruce Densky, Jacob Miller. Acampando, não voltaram nenhum contato. Se tiver visto um deles ou souber de seus paradeiros, ligue para 555-9932. Obrigado. Você viu este homem desaparecido desde 20/6/2007. Características de identificação. Característica de identificação. Donde vencer competições. Menos coisa. Tem até um gatinho sumido aqui. Não, gatinho eu não consigo ver. Não consigo ler as informações do gato. Aqui é a sala da xerife. Vamos esperar um pouquinho. Deixa eu dar um rolê por aqui. Ver o que eu consigo. Quem sabe consigo achar alguma coisa por aqui.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Consigo sair? Eu consigo, mas peraí, não quero sair agora não.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Tá, ô gravador. Eu já sei. Não consigo entrar.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the brake float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsal today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Café, acho que ali no chão tem um manuscrito. Episódio 2, Possuídos.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home. Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Tá, que eu não consigo
Sheriff
entrar.
Breaker is waiting for you down the corridor in her office.
Então vamos lá falar com a xerife.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Pegar celular.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd locked me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
Eu não consigo mais entrar aqui? Consigo.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay. You can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Tá, falou que eu posso ir pelos fundos.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up. You can get to the back lot through that door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
Thanks.
Hey, mister! Hey, deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here. Hey, you! Can you help me? Can you turn the light? Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen, you gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
Ih, tá só uma cachaça. Não, pelo menos ele tem uma televisão ainda ali, ó. Consegue assistir alguma coisa. Aqui tem uma cela aberta, tem um manuscrito ali. Deixa eu dar uma olhada. A presença obscura na lanchonete.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power. The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Passe pela cerca à esquerda. Dá uma olhada aqui nesses carros. Tem um rádio mais ali e mais uma garrafa de café.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition. There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
Tem alguma coisinha lá. Ah, tá, tem que passar ali, ó. Porra! Quase um Rambo.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Mais um manuscrito. Wake in Lover's Peak.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Acho que pelo jeito tem que voltar lá para falar com a xerife. Pra cá não passo. Pra cá também não, que nessa árvore não tem nada. Caminhãozinho velho não tem mais nada. Vamos voltar lá, acho que tem que ser lá com a xerife. Ver se consigo entrar agora nessa porta aqui, eu acho que não.
pulls the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
E agora ele vai preso.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Que é o que? Museu? Fósseis de mamute colombiano. Mamutus columbi. Alguns souvenirs, a cabeça de búfalo, deixa eu ver. Parece uma cabeça de búfalo, aqui um alce.
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car, just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week. And someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand
just...
what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Tá, deixa eu ver se tem alguma coisa aqui. Eu nem passo. Não, eu nem passo. Deixa eu olhar aqui. Do outro lado. Aqui eu consigo entrar. Barrei na cadeira. Tem um viadinho. Algumas informações sobre animais e alguns outros bichos. Aqui um ursão empalhado. Tem alguém lá fora. Tem uma garrafinha de café. Tá fechando. Arrumou um vaso aqui, será que fui eu?
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton. Okay, boy. We're almost done here.
Alguns papéis higiênicos, aqui uma armadilha de urso. Aqui é onde era o cachorro estava preso.
That's a good dog. There. He's going to be fine.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
Ué, esse negócio de pegar formulário. Pegar formulário. É que às vezes aparece a opção de ação e eu tô bem longe do negócio. Tá, peguei o formulário e agora? Fechado. Não me deu a opção de eu ler o formulário. Tem o banheiro.
I'd come here to rent a cabin where I could wait till midnight. I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Tá lá até a montanha?
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
Uh-huh.
We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
Lock the door when I leave.
Yep, you go ahead and do what you have to do. I'll be fine. Alone, but fine. In a cabin straight from a horror movie. You want to know where you can shove that flashlight?
Tem iluminação, não seria necessário estar com a lanterna, mas tudo bem. Mais uma garrafa de vinho. Dá pra pegar aqui em cima da mesa? Não. Uma lareira. Um peixinho. Um viadinho. Acender a luz.
Real funny, Al. Real funny. Ha ha. Thank you. I'll just sit here in the dark till you come back. Or until I get eaten by a grue. I didn't realize we were back in the 3rd grade here.
Mais 2 garrafas de vinho, pegar pilhas. Como é que tá a saída? É, realmente ele trancou a porta. Ei, é só tudo derrubando o vaso, hein? Veio por aqui, deixa eu ver se tem alguma coisa aqui pra trás. Opa, mais uma garrafa. Temos uma banheira. As cadeiras viradas. Um poço fechado. Então vamos para cá. Vamos seguir o caminho.
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice. Barry had the keys to the car he rented. It wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest.
Vai ter que ser a pé mesmo, camarada. Vamos correndo. Centro de visitantes. Eia, eia, cacete. Achei que era um que ia me atacar pelas costas. Deu um cagaço o jogo aqui, ó. Joguinho danado. Eia, eia. Tinha luz lá, pô. Tinha luz lá, hein. Tinha luz aqui também. Tá, deixa eu ver o que tem aqui nessa casa primeiro. Vamos ver se eu consigo entrar, né? Nem sei se eu vou conseguir entrar na casa. Acho que tem um rádio lá dentro. A lanterna dele é potente, hein? Porra, vai longe pra caramba. Acender a luz, né? Assim fico mais protegido.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seek to manage. No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pride contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah. It's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
Passou um maluco ali fora, cara.
Just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
Passou um maluco ali.
See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Well, considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Porra, passou um doidinho ali fora. Será que passou só pra me assustar ou ele tá só esperando pra me pegar pelas costas? Deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui embaixo. No playground. O pneu começou a balançar sozinho. Lover's Peak, Moonshine, Caverna Moonshine, Edo Road, Trilha Natural e Edo Road. Acho que é isso, Trilha Natural, eu acho. A lanterna dele, ó, a lanterna dele vai longe pra caramba, vai até lá na frente, ó. Na placa. Tem trailer. Tem mais um chalé. Bom, por enquanto... Ah tá, tô com o revólver aqui. Ixi, tá tudo quebrado. Ó, ô cacete! Essas televisões aqui parecem bem aqueles vídeos que se acha no Control. Eu ia dizer que o Control e Alan Wake se passam no mesmo universo. O Homem no Espelho. Pena que a imagem não fica grande da televisão, né? Não dá pra ver muito bem. Ah, ô droga.
Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that? I didn't like his face? Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either. That must be difficult. But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical. Huh, how about that? Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. The white shirt is on the dead guy. It's plenty red now. You won't get away with this. Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me. You bastard. What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me. I don't understand any of this. And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me in Legend. Maybe in the mirror.
Tem marca de sangue. Marca de sangue aqui. E tem alguma coisa aqui dentro desse armário aqui, quer ver? Não, pelo contrário, não tem nada. São uns barulhos estranhos. Eu achei que era uma placa e um carro. Achei que isso aqui fosse uma placa retorcida. Aqui o que é um telefone? Telefone. Tá, deixa eu lá olhar aquele carro. Salvou. Página de manuscrito. Barry duvida da sanidade de Wake.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
A morte de Rust.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
Tá, deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui em cima. Aquela casinha que tem ali. Não, não é bem uma casa, é tipo um palanque. Tem alguma coisa lá no chão. Mais um manuscrito. Rose e Rust. Acho que as outras páginas é só na dificuldade pesadelo.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was. The vision left me weak. This was no head injury. Rusty, damn.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming!
Please, help me!
Engraçado, sumiu ali Será que era só no primeiro capítulo? Mostrava pra onde é que eu tinha que ir? Não aparece mais. Tem alguma coisa piscando mais lá na frente. Um barulhinho. Os games de terror das antigas era isso, né, cara? Ficava um barulhinho de fundo assim, tu achava que ia aparecer alguma coisa e não aparecia. Só pra te deixar ligado. Aqui corta o caminho aqui. Ó, tem uma garrafa de café aqui. Deixa eu ir pela... Acabei pegando uma garrafa de café ali na sorte. Ixi, tá tudo detonado ali o negócio, né? Uma garrafa de café. Um portão. Acho que ali aqui, eu acho que é o centro de visitantes. Ixi, caiu uma árvore aqui. Tá, vamos entrar aqui. Esse aqui é um carrinho de mão. Mais um manuscrito. Vamos ler ele aqui. Rusty atacado pela presença obscura.
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way. Felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Tem alguém pedindo socorro aqui. Será que tá aqui dentro? É que eu tô voltando, né? É, tô voltando. Tem que treinar essa esquiva aqui. Ah, cansou só se esquivando? Eia. Eita cachaça.
The gate to Lover's Peak was locked. The ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in.
Eu preciso de uma chave para entrar aqui. Deve estar lá do outro lado.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here. Hey,
tem um cara lá, ó.
please help me. I'm here.
Ué?
I'm hurt. I can't move.
Não entendi. Que não é o museu que eu tava lá com meu agente?
Please help me. Hello?
Ué?
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Mas eu já tava com um revólver. Ele tá trancado. Não entendi porque eu peguei outro revólver. Um cachorrinho.
Shh, good boy.
Tá, agora eu tenho que ir lá. Lá no outro lado. Vou ligar as luzes. É engraçado, eu saí daqui e vim parar aqui de novo. As marcas de sangue aqui.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Eu podia ter dado uma lanterna pra ele. Wake chega a refúgio de luz.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
Bom, vai ver o caminho por aqui, deixa eu dar uma olhada. Só abre essa porta. Não abre. Então é aqui mesmo. É ali. Tem uma coisa pra pegar por aqui? Não. Isso, tem um machadão ali.
Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Opa! Eita porra!
Rusty!
matar o Rust. Ó, o jogo é assim, ó, cara. Tem um machadão ali, mas tu não pode pegar o machadão. Silent Hill é assim também, cara. Em Silent Hill te davam... Tu entrava num cenário que tinha umas armas bem fodonas, mas tu não conseguia pegar. Vamos lá ver. Isso com o Rust.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness. Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Não vai ter nada para eu pegar aqui, né? Deixa eu ver se eu consigo entrar no banheiro. Não, ainda não. Peraí, deixa eu ver uma coisa aqui. Sonhos. Regeneração. Entrar no vídeo não. Estatísticas. Porque não está aparecendo a pilha lá em cima. Tem coisa que não está aparecendo. Volte para o Rust. Ao encontrar o guarda florestal ferido, Wake tenta acender a luz do centro de visitantes para salvá-lo.
Don't feed the animals.
Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park fishing license.
Yep.
Obey
the park ranger's instructions
at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Two bears and wolves never approach any other wolf closer than
20 mais tipo de chefe.
Pets must be leashed. Never leave your pet on a It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park.
Morreu. Troféu conquistado sob uma fina camada de alguma coisa. Tava vindo dois ali pela surtina, cara. Dei sorte ali de olhar bem na hora pro lado. Munição aqui. Cadê o Rust?
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Ai, ai. Ah, caí.
What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
pensamentos finais de Rust.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Engraçado, não tá aparecendo mais o menu ali. Mais opções, só tem essas. Os controles. Gráficos. O áudio. A legenda. Né, sim. Aumentar o tamanho da fonte, capacidade do plano de fundo. Comentários no vídeo, restaurar padrões. Estatísticas. Engraçado. Engraçado como tá aparecendo ali. Nem a lanterna em cima ali na tela tá aparecendo.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
Tá, e agora? Deixa eu ver pra onde é que tem que ir. Tem que ir pra Lover's Peak. Mas deixa eu ver o que tem aqui nessa caverna. Ó, tem algum item importante, que tem essas coisinhas amarelas aqui, ó. Era pra ser uma seta ali, eu acho, né? Mas tá meio bugado. Ó, tem a seta lá, ó. Caverna Moonshine. Essa caverna foi sede de frequência e lucrativas atividades de contrabando na época da Lei Seca. Costumava ser usada para o armazenamento temporário de álcool contrabandeado no Canadá, mas às vezes o álcool também era destilado no local. Opa, tem uma escopeta aqui. Fechou. Agora sim eu tô maquinado. Tem nenhuma página de livro por aqui? Acho que não. Aqui já tinha uma setinha. Esse poste aqui estava aceso, hein? Não, dois. Não tem três? Ah, escapei. Vai! Caraca! Uhum. Peraí. Vou ver até onde eu consigo voltar. Tem munição aqui pra trás. Ah, mas acho que vou ter que voltar muito. Deixa eu ver. Ah, tem aqui, ó. Ó, tá sossegado, sossegado, né? Quando aparece, parece 4. Banheirinho químico. Opa. Barry conhece Rose.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
Peraí que eu já volto aí. Bora lá, tô de volta. Tá. Show. 100 mil visitantes. Tem umas áreas do jogo que eu não deveria estar. Opa, não é pra cá. Pelo menos o jogo me avisa, né? Que eu tô indo pra uma área que não é o caminho certo. Tá, que só tinha um manuscrito. Vamos voltar pra cá. Tá, meu, não é pra cá? Mas aqui diz aqui, ó, Lovers Peak. Acho que é pra eu vir pra cá. Tá, pera aí, então. Deixa eu vir pra cá. Ó, pra cá não é o caminho. O caminho é pra lá mesmo. Tô entendendo que não tem caminho, pô. Tem que passar por lá. Ó, eu segui aqui. Eu vou correndo, cara. Não sei porque tá aparecendo como se... Ó, geralmente quando acontece isso é porque eu tô indo pro caminho errado. Tá, mas vamos mesmo assim. escopeta. Eu tô com uma escopeta, não tô? Munição de escopeta. Ah, filha da mãe. Ô caramba. Porra, esse é forte, hein? Ah, vai. Opa! Ah, danadinho. Caraca! Oi. Era aqui que eu queria subir, eu passei direto. Ah, caramba, porra, o que tá aparecendo direto agora, hein? Ah, porra, eles são rápidos, velho. Tem que vir pra cá. Eu acho que é pra cá. Caramba, meu. Não para de vir. Porra. O cara não erra uma também, né? Ah, caramba, pelas costas, filho da mãe. Mais um manuscrito. Wake vê o símbolo da tocha.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason. Packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
Queria olhar pra cá, cara. Acho que não vou conseguir olhar muita coisa pra cá. Deixa, vamos embora, senão pode eu gastar munição à toa. Opa, garrafinha de café. Já é tempo que eu não achar uma garrafinha de café. Fora do não fora do cenário, né? Mas fora do meu trajeto. Sobe aí, Alan. É meio lerdo pra subir, hein? Será que eu tô chegando? Tá longe esse negócio, hein? Queria saber porque o ícone da lanterna sumiu dali de cima. Ah, beleza. Nossa, veio 3? Tem quantos aí? Caraca, velho. Ó, já veio um por trás, já vai vir um por trás já. Corre, Alan, corre, Alan. Corre pra luz, ó. Corre pra luz, corre pra luz. Ó, só veio machado, passou. Ah, cacete. Droga, merda que eu gastei os meus sinalizadores e ia precisar deles agora. Só tô com a pistola. Com o revólver agora. Porra, quase não vem. Quando vem... me fazem gastar munição pra caramba. Coisa pra cá? Não. Eu precisava só mais uma daquela caixinha vermelha, hein? Opa. Uma garrafinha. A árvore da qual este anel de aquecimento foi extraído brotou em 1846, no ano em que o Tratado de Oregon foi assinado. Outros eventos importantes ficaram registrados nos anéis. Tá, não é por aqui? Na torre lá em cima. Por aqui. Manuscrito. A chegada de Nightingale.
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost.
Bom, é isso aí, moçada. Essa jogatina de hoje vai ficando por aqui. Estamos a caminho de Lover's Peak. E vamos terminando por aqui a jogatina de hoje. O game ali já fez um salvamento. Continuamos exatamente desse ponto na próxima jogatina. Então é isso daí. Até a próxima. Valeu, falou, abraço. E até.